follow along with me on page 495. We are now on Chapter 6, Lesson 7, Equivalent Expressions. So we're going to have a few more vocabulary words. So reading along, when addition or subtraction signs separate an algebraic expression into parts, each part is called a term. The numerical factor of a term that contains a variable is called the coefficient. A term without a variable is called a constant. Like terms are terms that contain the same variables. So let's look at this one right here. What it's saying is each of these three things are called terms. 3x and x both have an x in them, so they are considered like terms. This 3 in front of the x is called a coefficient. We kind of learned about this last lesson, but whenever we have just a plain x, you can always assume that there's a 1 in front of there. This will help out later on. So let's label this below. I have 4n, 2n, and 9. So still, these are my terms. Notice 4n and 2n both have an n as the variable. So these are like terms. Whenever we have like terms, we can always combine them together. 9 then, remember a number without a letter is called a constant. So 9 would be considered my constant. These are vocabulary words you will need to know. Your code word for this lesson is Wisconsin timber rattlers. You can follow along with me on page 497. We are going to do E, F, and G. We need to simplify these problems. So first thing we're going to do is look for like terms. So in letter E, I have like terms of 3x and 2x. I know they're like terms because they both contain an x. Well, 3x plus 2x now I can just simply add. 3 plus 2 is 5, and then I keep that x with it. And I'm left with just a 9y. So that would be my answer because I can't simplify it anymore. So now looking at F. Again, I want to simplify. Whenever I see multiplication and addition, I know I need to use the distributive property. So let's use it. Remember, I distribute that 7 to both pieces. 7 times 3 is 21, and then I keep that x. Plus 7 times, remember there's always that 1 in front of the y. So 7 times 1 is 7, and then I keep that y with it. So my answer would be 21x plus 7y. I can't simplify it anymore. And lastly, this one says factor. Remember, whenever we have factor, we need to do the opposite of what distributive property is. So I need to find the biggest number that goes into 12 and 8. Well, it's going to be 4. So I can pull a 4 out. 12 divided by 4 leaves me with a 3. I need to keep that x with it. Plus 8 divided by 4 is 2, and I need to keep that y with it. So this would be simplified of my factors. We will go through more examples in class to clear up any confusion this lesson might do. There are a lot of different ways you can do these problems.